Anthony Beale of the 9th Ward wrote this piece for the Chicago Defender. He was calling for the mayor of Chicago, who's elected next spring, to be the one to choose the new police superintendent.
What is that suggesting? That I'm not going to be here? So what are we doing here?
You're accusing me of being anti-police. Your behavior is anti-black.
Brandon Johnson paid $30,000 for his makeup and his hair. That's, to me, abuse.
Brandon Johnson hasn't said he is running for re-election. No one asked him to step down. Basically, it would suggest that someone else is going to probably win next spring's election. And that person is going to be the one who picked the permanent police superintendent, not the mayor, who might not even be here. And we see what's going on with the polling. You already see the large roster of people looking to become the mayor. Brandon Johnson's time is coming to an end. Let's get into it.
Chicago Public Schools is facing a painful math problem. They've got a $732 million budget gap, and now leaders are proposing some major staff cuts, more than 700 teachers and more than 800 paraprofessionals.
Before we get into how unpopular this mayor is, let's talk about the situation with Brandon Johnson's budget and his math finally catching up to him. Chicago Public Schools just announced layoffs for over 700 teachers, plus 300 more staff, librarians, justice coordinators, special ed aides, to try to close this massive budget deficit, which I think is at $732 million. 5 furlough days, a mid-year spending freeze. This is what happens when you run out of places to hide the bill. And this is not isolated. City Hall's own budget director told the alderman the city would be looking at 2,000 layoffs if the council doesn't act fast on a separate shortfall. 2 different budgets, same story. Spend now and then panic later. And Johnson's answer to years of warnings: not cuts, not a real conversation about what the city can actually afford. Taxes, more and more taxes. Find a new fee, a new levy, a new revenue tool, anything except sitting down and negotiating to real compromise on spending. Now the bill is due and landing on classrooms, on librarians, on the people who had nothing to do with how this budget got built in the first place. That's not fiscal management. That's a can getting kicked down the road, finally hitting a wall.
Poll from the University of Chicago, and it's providing an education on how badly Chicagoans view Brandon Johnson and how steep that climb is going to be for his re-election. Polling out today from the Mansueto Institute for Urban Innovation at the University of Chicago shows just 13% of Chicagoans want Mayor Johnson to run again.
The University of Chicago just dropped basically the gold standard poll on Chicago politics, and it's not even close. Somewhere between 13 to 14% of the people in Chicago want Johnson to run again. His job approval rating is sitting around 23%, down from 25% last quarter. Roughly 54 to 58% either disapprove of his job performance or say they're not excited about another campaign. And here's the part that should actually worry him. Breaks it down by race, income, age, and region. Every single group, even Johnson's supported base, black voters on the South Side, approve of him at 27 to 29%. The dude is underwater with his own people.
When Brandon Johnson paid $30,000 for his makeup and his hair, that's, to me, abuse. When you have him spending over $600 million on illegal migrants, and he's prioritizing them over the citizens, Chicago citizens. To me, that's waste and abuse. When we're in the deficit and almost your entire administration receive raises.
So who's actually saying this quiet part out loud? Danielle Carter Walters, wife of a 25-year veteran cop and the only conservative candidate in the entire race. Take her testimony as basically a full encapsulation of the case against Johnson.
Tom Holman, make an example out this Negro right here first. Please come here first, because you know what? We're going to help you. We want a forensic.
Ma'am, I would ask that you keep your, hold on a second, stop her time. Stop her time. Just a second. Stop her time. Ma'am, I would ask that you, if you want to continue speaking, you have to make sure that your language is appropriate, okay?
And then when you talk about the CVI money, where's that money going? Because we know that we're spending millions on CVI money, and that's going to these churches, to these nonprofit organizations. And my thing is, we're having almost a mass shooting almost every week, or if not every day. And we're these teen takeovers, so where's that money going?
Now, it's going to be very hard for her to win, considering, conservatives don't do well in Democrat Chicago. But that's not the point. The point is that she is a accredited voice. She testified twice in front of Congress. She's been profiled on this channel, going straight at Brandon Johnson in these meetings, standing in the well of public opinion, saying that what the University of Chicago poll just proved with data, people don't trust this administration with their money. And you don't have to take Walters' word for it. Watch what happens when a reporter actually presses him.
Your approach to violent crime, specifically the way you handled the Sheridan Gorman case. On the day that Sheridan Gorman's parents came to Chicago to retrieve her body, you told jokes about abolishing ICE. You named an ice plow, abolish ICE. You laughed, you smiled, you giggled.
William, do you have a question to ask?
Yes, many Chicagoans said that was despicable. It was below the dignity of the office of mayor. It was below the dignity of really the United States of America, a big city mayor.
William, I believe your question is about the polling.
Point, do you have even two decent words that you can cobble together to say apologize to the parents of Sheridan Gorman?
Well, look, as I said before, every act of violence in this city is horrific, and we will continue to do everything in our power to keep the people of this city safe.
Can you even say her name?
The larger point is that we do have a real issue with illegal weapons in this.
In the country, really, just released a poll today stating that 60% of Chicagoans do not want you to run for re-election. I guess presumably don't want you to be mayor. Police Superintendent Snelling retired today. Will your next superintendent appointee have to follow your anti-police philosophies that law enforcement is a sickness?
Jails and incarceration and law enforcement is a sickness that has not led to safe communities.
I'm not anti-police. I've been very clear about that. And I think, William, you can't talk over me. William, you can't talk over me, all right? I'm responding to your question.
You're talking over my question.
Well, listen, if you,
You're talking
okay,
over me.
all right, let's move on. Thank you.
Will you say
I've already
the name,
answered your question. In
say the
fact, the
name
way
Sheridan
you are
Gorman?
conducting yourself right now, though you're accusing me of being anti-police, your behavior is anti-black. Knock it off.
Really?
Next question.
The question was simple. When the day that Gorman's parents came to Chicago to retrieve her body, Johnson joked about abolishing ICE, laughed, smiled. So can he say her name? Can he apologize? Johnson wouldn't say her name, not once. Then the reporter follows up on his own comments, calling the law enforcement a sickness, which we've profiled and talked about on this channel many times. And instead of answering that question, Johnson says this: "You're accusing me of being anti-police. Your behavior is anti-black." To the reporter, asking a question about policy. That's the move that him and a lot of other people do. They can't answer the question. So the question becomes the problem, and then they become the victim. And that's what Brandon Johnson has been doing his entire administration. And that's why those poll numbers are the way they are. He doesn't like being questioned. He gets offensive. He gets very emotional. And I think a lot of people in Chicago are tired of it. Meanwhile, the field behind him isn't waiting around.
The survey found the mayor's approval rating is only 23%. And it's important to note it has been stuck there for more than a year. Johnson hasn't raised significant money. He hasn't announced his campaign. The survey found voters expressing more enthusiasm for 4 other people, including State Treasurer Alexi, Comptroller Susana Mendoza, County Treasurer Maria Pappas, and Congressman Mike Quigley.
Suppose you won over everybody who has no opinion. Like all these undecided people, you could do something to win them all over. Even there, you'd be barely tapping 40%. So, I mean, even in that kind of rosy scenario, it doesn't look great.
So this is Barry's read. Even if Johnson won over every single undecided voter left, he'll barely crack 40%. That's the ceiling, not the floor. So here where we stand, the man hasn't decided if he's going to run. The city has already decided they don't want him. And the only question is whether Brandon Johnson realizes it or he's still confused and he's going to try to continue the charade as he tries to get reelected for the mayor of Chicago. I don't think that's going to happen. But let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. Thank you for taking time to watch this video, and I'll see you guys in the next video.